Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fernando Alonso career mode. Round number 7 at the Principality, the Monaco Grand Prix. If you did miss the previous round over at Imola, go watch it now. Now that you've all caught up, oh my god, what a weekend it was. And hopefully that momentum will continue for a very long time. But let's see which gemstone will shine brightest as we head into qualifying. Qualifying easily the most important and imperative moment of the weekend. So let's make it count. Through turn 1, ignore it. We don't need to talk about that. But up the hill, it's actually Hamilton that has the advantage initially. Unbelievable first set of corners from the Mercedes man, but quickly reinstating himself at the front is Max Verstappen as we graze the wall on the left. Through Casino Square, we're really riding our luck into Mirabeau and then the Tesco car park. Planting on full lock and actually missing the apex, costing us a bit of time, but we get it all together. And through these two right-handers into Portier, we have the lead. We have provisional pole position. And what a story that would be. What a start to the weekend. And what a way to keep that momentum boulder rolling furiously. As into the Nouvelle chicane we go. Planting on the power, tyres biting into the bitumen and into Tabac. Currently smoking the opposition. Purple middle sector as we hit both apexes of the chicane perfectly. And unlike real life, we are trying to go for that pole position to prize it out of the clutches of Max Verstappen's Red Bull. Through the final corner, we might just have done it as across the line we go. I think that could be it. It is it! Pole position at the Monaco Grand Prix. What a performance from Fernando Alonso. And all it was in it was 78 thousandths of a second. Fine margins. But on the gemstone of the Formula 1 calendar, we are the diamond that sparkles the most. Pole position, so important. My teammate in 11th as well, which is not too bad. Verstappen nipping at our heels, though. What a spectacle we're in for, ladies and gents. It's time for the race.
Monaco. History, glamour, and a truly unique challenge, touring an entire country across the space of a lap. Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix.
It's been a perfect weekend so far. Let's keep it that way. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go, and it's a great start versus Verstappen, who has now got to tussle away with the Monegasque hero. Charles Leclerc going down the inside, trying to take Verstappen back to school in his home ends, but it's not lasted. It has not lasted at all. Verstappen well and truly schools the hometown hero by running rings around him, for lack of a better term. But onto the end of the first lap, it was imperative that we kept the lead. We've done just that, and across the line, fastest lap because it's lap 1, doofus. But 7 tenths, nearly 8 tenths the gap to Verstappen initially. But as we come on to the end of this lap, you can see this is where we are at our strongest. Over the Nouvelle chicane, jumping over the sausage, which sounds like my Friday night. But into Tabac, we've gained a whole host of time on Verstappen. 1.2 seconds now the gap, and we are sending it through the streets of Monte Carlo into Raskas. Keep it nice and narrow, and the cars behind us, even Max Verstappen, doesn't have an answer to our pace. We are absolutely searing away with a 1 minute 12.4 fastest lap. And well, as long as we keep it together, there's not a hope in hell for anyone else. Lap number 8 now, and as you can see, the gap has just been building and building and building up. We have been absolutely imperious, and to be honest, myself and Verstappen are in a completely different league to Leclerc and co behind. I mean, look at where we are. It's almost a subcontinent, but lap after lap ensued, and we endured, and now at 5.7 seconds on lap number 11. Well, it's a procession. We've been so ruthlessly efficient and consistent. And there's not a hope for anyone else. Not even Max Verstappen. So let's see what everyone else is doing then. Well, here we are with George Russell and with my voice in another dimension. But coming out of the pit lane, the Mercedes boys, they've stayed out quite a bit longer. Lap number 15. And oh no! Russell finds himself well behind both McLaren cars. And if that's what Russell's race has come to, it could be real capitulations for Sir Lewis Hamilton, as into the pits he goes. Soft tyres on, which is a good strategy. By no stretch of the imagination is it a bad one. But the undercuts have come out, and have Mercedes been caught napping, as Hamilton, who was running in 4th behind Leclerc, now down to 6th, make that 7th, make that 8th place. Hamilton has been absolutely ruined. Mercedes caught napping extremely. And it's a race to forget for the boys from Brackley. Speaking of forgettable, well, this race is turning into that, as through Rascasse we go. We've been sending it corner after corner, and it all comes down to the pit stop to see if we've kept that gap to Verstappen, who has had a few laps worth of undercut on us. Purple turning, as always, soft tyres being strapped on our wagon. We are going for the full shebang, the full Grand Slam here at Monaco. The second one of Alonso's career this would be if we do keep ahead of Verstappen, and we easily will. He's hardly even out of the final corner, and we have shot out of the pit lane. And like a bullet, we go and go, as I'm going to show you at least one full lap from this race. Ignore this lap here, my fastest lap of the entire race. As up the hill we go towards Casino Square. New tyres absolutely darting the nose into the apex. Night and day's worth of difference being on the new softs versus Verstappen's withering hards. As into the lows hairpin. Withering hards sounds absolutely disgusting, by the way. That is a shocking euphemism. Through the first right-hander and now towards Portier. Again, the car complying absolutely crisply at every single input. There is absolutely nothing that can, well, anyone else can do. Everything that separates us from the rest of the grid. Through the Novel chicane, we've already gained pretty much a second and a half to Verstappen on this lap alone. And Sector 3 will exasperate that issue even more for the Dutchman. The double world champion is quaking in his boots because Fernando Alonso is on it like a car bonnet, which would be convenient, apart from the fact that F1 cars don't have them. But a lovely lap round Monaco across the line, a 1 minute 11.0. So close to a 1 minute 10 lap time. And well, that could be curtains for everyone else. Lap number 23, pretty much at the end of that lap, just over 2 laps later. And there's been nothing to talk about. No one out of the race. We've been ruthlessly consistent as through towards... Oh no! Clipping the barrier on the left. And that could be damage.
Okay, be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Ah. Right. Well, that could make things a bit squirrely. No bushy things to report. No nutty scenarios. On the end of lap 24, we stay well away from the limits of the barriers. And we've still gapped Verstappen by half a second. Testament to the tyres, testament to the kind of drive we've had this weekend. But let's put it this way. We have been absolutely invincible from start to finish. And so, last lap of the Grand Prix here in Monaco. The diamond, the crown jewel of the Formula 1 calendar. We've slapped the rest of the grid in their crown jewels because they've received a bollocking like no other as I hit the wall again, just for dramatic effect. But we've been untouchable. There is nothing that anyone could have done to stop us. And unbelievably, it will be a second career Grand Slam for the man in the Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso will win the Monaco Grand Prix. What an absolutely perfect weekend. Baku was good, but this weekend, above all else, was absolutely sensational. Perez somehow gets driver of the day, even though he was a whole continent behind us.
They've done it then. They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's Grand Prix. There are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. it's Aston Martin on the top step.
King of the streets, Fernando Alonso, our 4th win of the season. We are absolutely running away with it, no matter what Red Bull and Verstappen try to throw at us. Leclerc on the podium again as well, at his home race, so congratulations to him for actually doing something in Monaco. But, like I was saying, Red Bull and Verstappen, they threw everything at us, they are throwing everything at us. But we have all the answers, and, I mean, look at that, 16.1 seconds. Is the gap in the end. Stroll again, it's a solitary point, but it's a point nonetheless that will continue our constructors' crusade. Mercedes drawing an almighty blank. So much of a blank I contracted tuberculosis apparently. But only 6 points scored on a week where, well, considering the pace of especially Hamilton's car, they could have been looking at 4th place at least, and McLaren as a result will have massively caught up. Well, drivers' standings, and as you can see, that is so tasty. 45 points, we lead Max Verstappen by. 3rd place, joint on points, Perez and Leclerc. My God, is it all to play for there, but currently we are running away with things. And, well, if we keep this form up, there's no way anyone can get near us. Hamilton, actually, the gap between him and the McLaren boys behind, significantly reduced. The McLarens find themselves right in the midst of a meaty Mercedes sandwich. But as you can see, Mercedes will be quaking in their boots. Only a few points now separate McLaren and Mercedes in the constructors. Not a good weekend at all for the Silver Arrows, and they'll hope for better at the Spanish Grand Prix. Red Bull, of course, extend their lead, no surprise there. Again, with our results, we've actually kept on terms with Ferrari. 8 points the gap. And, well, if we'd won in Saudi Arabia, it's a question of what could have been. But it's only round 7, and anything can happen. Well, there you go, then. We danced and darted and tangoed our way around the Principality, and it was a weekend of nothing short of pure perfection. If you did enjoy this round of the Fernando Alonso career mode, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Plenty more of this series and much more besides coming very soon indeed. Speaking of which, actually, I recorded the entirety of Monaco. I'm going to upload it. I will the entirety of qualifying and the race completely uncut, because I promise you it was probably one of my best drives I've ever done in a Formula 1 game. And I'm not just saying that. Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. But in my opinion, at least, it was an absolutely superlative drive. But anyway, until the next episode of the Fernando Alonso career mode, firstly, a happy new year to you. Have a lovely 2024. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon.